Welcome back to Big Mouth and welcome to the Big Mouth Daily Live. Let's take a closer look at this fantabulous reveal of the Shazam Fury of the Gods brand new costume. Now, I didn't have an issue with the original costume. Yes, it is puffed out. The thing is with Zach, he can only get to a certain level in bulk. But Zach is perfect for the role because of his comic timing, and he can do drama as well because he's good at that and he's perfect in this role. So he's not really the Captain Marvel from the comics, but he's brilliant for the aesthetic that they want, kind of that family atmosphere. This costume is made to fit his body and it looks absolutely fantastic. First of all, because nobody's doing it, let me give a shout out to the costume designers. This is fantastic. Now, I think elements of this have been taken from one or two comics, which is great, but it's absolutely fantastic, and I love it. I could hold this up all day, but my arms are getting tired, but it's beautiful. Ronnie Dodge, that costume, that's insane. Yes, Ronnie, absolutely. Good morning. Absolutely fantastic. It's a brilliant costume. I'm shocked how good it is. Now, of course, the change of costume is directly a consequence from Flashpoint. I can tell you unofficially that every existing DCEU hero will get a costume makeover. They're all getting brand new costumes, including Superman and including Batfleck as well. So that's very exciting. But yes, this is a brilliant costume. Ronnie Dodge, hiya, mate. Hiya, Ronnie. How's it going? So this is brilliant. This is a brilliant costume. And I'm so happy. And we've been waiting for a bit of news, something to get our teeth into. And this is it. Wow, absolutely fantastic. So, wow, it's a perfect suit. So you can see that the lightning goes right down to his chest and just above his abs as well. Now, look at the arms. The arms have got some kind of shielding. Now, I can't remember what his costume, if his costume had that in the original. I don't think that it did. I can't remember now. So it's an upgraded costume, but this costume change, obviously, what I like about this, they're listening to the criticism. This is really good. They're listening to what the fans said about their issues about the first costume. So I really like that. But mainly, this is a consequence to Flashpoint. That's why this costume has changed as well. But of course, they wanted to update the costume because people had issues with the first one. But as I say, I think the first one's pretty cool with the aesthetic they wanted to do. But it's a really brilliant, I like the color palette on it as well. I think it's brilliant. I love the way Levi is standing as well and holding himself up. He certainly obviously got the body. But as I say, some people's bodies can't get to the Rock aesthetic. Now, if you think about the comic book Captain Marvel, he's a lot huger in frame than this. So he's not an accurate depiction of the Captain Marvel we know and love, but he's there because he's Zach. And he can, you know, the way he did this character was perfect. And people love him because he has got this kind of childlike aesthetic, which is important for this role and the audience they're trying to appeal to, which is great. Bobcat, hey Mickey, yo Bobcat. By the way, I've named my cat after you, just for you'd like to know. Right, so that's that. So that was very, very exciting yesterday to get that reveal. I was so pumped. I can't remember. I think I saw it last night just before I went to bed. Ronnie Dodge, post-Flash World looks incredible. It does. Just imagine the other costumes they're going to get. Just imagine Sasha Calle's Supergirl costume. Imagine the brand new updated Flash costume. We're still to see that. Because if this is the quality we're going for, get very excited. By the way, this was not leaked. The only people that leaked this were Warner Brothers and David F. Sandberg. This was not a leak. There are not leaks anymore. People are talking about leaks. This was not a leak. They even did a little promo, which was brilliant. You would think they'd at least turn on one light. Really funny, really brilliant. Bobcat, did you actually name your cat after me? Yeah, because it's a bit out there. It's a bit random. It does crazy shit. A bit like you, Bobcat. That's what makes you so lovable. Ronnie Dodge, Gal is going to get a new costume for Wonder Woman 3. Oh, definitely, yeah. This is changing. Everything will be a consequence to Flashpoint, right? When you do a Flashpoint, unlike the Arrowverse Flashpoint, that had very few consequences, by the way, this is really rebooting the universe, right? So the costumes, again, are going to be rebooted, more comic accurate. We're going to go down this line. So basically, Ann Sarnoff and Walter Hamada are really, really pushing this. And Ann Sarnoff, really the CEO of WB Pictures, is all over the DCEU. She's all over it. You know, she was the one who came out with the Variety interview and made her position very clear what would happen with the DC live action universe. And so everyone understood. So that's brilliant. So it's a wonderful costume. It really is. I'm really happy with that. And some people going, oh, it's okay. It's better than the first. No, don't understate this. It's a brilliant one. And just imagine, not even the agenda merchants, right, can even have any issue with it. They don't know what to say. Oh, they'll think of something. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what they say because WB Pictures are on this. They are now on the ball because they've got people like Ann Sarnoff, who's got great experience at doing things the right way. Ronnie Dodge, I'm betting we are getting costume reveal for the Flash movie. Yes, maybe this week, maybe next week. They may do one a week. Bobcat, oh, well, I appreciate that, man. You got two Bobcats to be confused with now, lol. Yes. Ronnie Dodge, that's a costume that could take on Black Adam. Wow, yes, actually, yes. That's true. I had to link in with what you were saying there. Yes, that's a costume that could take on Black Adam for sure. I think that Black Adam, I think that Shazam Fury of the Gods is definitely a darker movie. I think they're not going to go down the direction of Wonder Woman 84. They're going to say, listen, we're going to go with the tradition of the Dark Knight or the Empire Strikes Back. This is going to be a bit darker. Bryan Singer's Superman Man of Steel was going to be a darker movie. Brainiac was going to take the form of Jason, and Superman was going to kill Jason by accident. Very, very dark. That film was going to be awesome. When you do a second movie, it's got to be that way. What Jenkins decided was we're just going to make a filler. And Walter Hamada and Ann Sarnoff said, you know what? Do what you want with Birds of Prey and Wonder Woman 84. We're rebooting the fucking universe. It really doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter if you stand there in a bikini, waving a couple of pom-poms. Your films are fucking irrelevant because we're rebooting the universe. Go on, Zach. Release the Snyder Cut. It doesn't matter. We're rebooting the universe. It's irrelevant. Do what you do. Talk your talk. Walk your walk. We are rebooting this universe. It's been a clusterfuck from day one, and we're going to do better for everyone, not just a few people. Bobcat, what colour is the cat? It's a ginger and white cat. Very greedy, always the first to want food. I have to chuck water on it to calm it down. So, yes, so that's the suit. Sam the January news. Is there Henry Cavill Superman news? There is, and Ronnie Dodge left me a beautiful message this morning. There are rumours. Bobcat still sounds like me. Yeah, I guess that was like you. Right, so there are rumours that Henry Cavill's agent is in negotiations with WB. Of course, as I said to Ronnie on Twitter today, this comes as no surprise to me. I never thought that Cavill's Superman was dead. Well, I did after Justice League, but for a long time now, I've had the feeling because there's been no, I'm not doing it anymore. He would have announced it. They would have announced it. He will still be playing a version of Superman. I expect multiple cameos. I definitely expect cameos in Shazam, Fury of the Gods, and Black Adam. Bobcat, well, the eating thing, lol. Oh, yeah, I thought you might be greedy. I don't know why. I just had a feeling because you're always telling me I'm just going to go and get something out of the microwave or something. Right, anyway. And so they are in negotiations, apparently. So it's very, very interesting, especially if these rumours about The Rock being the new DC Films president are true. Maybe he won't be the president. Maybe he'll join Walter Hamada in an executive role. That would probably sound more like it. So, yes, very, very interesting. Ronnie George, if Snyderverse are not excited about the future of the DCEU after Flash, then fool them. Well, some of them are not really DC fans, they're Zack Snyder fans, but you've got your trilogy, right? It's like Steven Spielberg fans. You've got the movies to watch. George Lucas fans, you've got his movies to watch. You've got Zach's movies to watch. He was lucky to get the 3 movies in the first place, let alone given 70 million to put together his version of Justice League. But we're moving on now. It's a very exciting time. And yeah, I'm really hyped. And that costume has really, really pleased me. Costume reveals are so important to a superhero movie. They can destroy a movie or they can make it really good. Now, I think if more people like the original Shazam costume, maybe Shazam could have made even more money. But the costume isn't terrible. I think bulking it up a bit was because Zachary can't bulk up as much as The Rock or other actors can. But they've chosen him for his talent, of course, which is very important as well. So let's start reading our articles. But yes, Henry Cavill apparently is in negotiations to return as Superman. Ronnie Dodge, I'm interested to see everyone's new suits after Flash. Oh yeah, it's going to be something very, very exciting. Well, we were obviously seeing Pattinson's suit already, which is sensational. There's very talented people designing these costumes for sure. So let's go to our first article. So Bobcat, this is about Suicide Squad. So the Suicide Squad, and I've got another one later on, by the way. Right, but this is a controversial move, apparently. Bobcat, also the girl the last time I DM'd her was a few days ago, and she read, Sam Jam reviews, will Wonder Woman will get her new EW 52 suit? I don't know. I don't know what kind of suit she'll get, but I think by Wonder Woman free time, they'll definitely have to have a Flashpoint suit. Bobcat, then she reread my message again yesterday, meaning she's reading and looking through our DMs, even when I'm not talking to her. Wow, Ronnie Dodge, Marvel, we're coming. Marvel, we're coming. Watch out. Absolutely. So, Peacemaker's sword revealed by Suicide Squad 2 toys and confirmed by James Gunn. After the Suicide Squad director James Gunn shared a photo revealing Peacemaker's sword, fans began wondering about the character's weapon of choice by Adam Bence of Screen Rant. James Gunn confirmed that Peacemaker has a sword in the Suicide Squad. Gunn's soft reboot, here we go again, of 2016 Suicide Squad is set to return a few characters from David Ayer's divisive predecessor. So it's not a reboot then. Such as Harley Quinn, not a reboot. Margot Robbie. Amanda Waller, Viola Davis, not a reboot. And Rick Flag, Joel Kinnaman, not a reboot, Screen Rant. However, Gunn would be remiss not to introduce new characters, blah, 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 which include Bloodsport Idris Elba, King Shark Sylvester Stallone, Savant Michael Rooker, Blackguard Pete Davidson, and the Thinker Peter Capaldi. John Cena's Peacemaker is perhaps the most notable newcomer to Task Force X. Long before the character was even seen in the Suicide Squad, HBO Max ordered a solo Peacemaker series, which is currently in production from Gunn. Described as a douchey Captain America who believes in peace at any cost, even if it means killing everyone. Peacemaker will certainly fit in with Suicide Squad's team of nutty ex-cons. Peacemaker's sword was seen briefly in the DC Fandom exclusive sneak peek, but a recent photo shared by director James Gunn drew attention to Peacemaker's unexpected weapon of choice. The photo showed a set of Suicide Squad figurines from McFarlane Toys. Characters featured in the set are Peacemaker, Bloodsport, King Shark, Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn, and Polka Dot Man David Dastmalchian. Sam Jam reviews Aquaman getting a new suit. If that movie comes after Flash, then yes. Bobcat, I'm not sure what that means exactly. Ronnie Dodge, I would love Gal to wear a new 52 suit. It'd be awesome. Bobcat, his sword should be called the Peacemaker. Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Bobcat, or his gun. I just want one of them named Peacemaker. Right. A user noticed Peacemaker's weapon and asked Peacemaker has a sword, and Gunn confirmed he does. The Suicide Squad, hashtag from McFarlane Toys, Todd McFarlane. F. Scotty Stop Asian Hate. Peacemaker has a sword. He does, says James Gunn. So that's really exciting. While Peacemaker is usually associated with his signature long-barreled pistol, his sword could be seen in some previous promotional material. And this photo of McFarlane's figurine set provides the best look at it so far. Since Gunn has said that nearly all the characters in the film will die, many began speculating that those featured in the photo would be the Suicide Squad's last surviving members, not necessarily, but Gunn quickly shot that theory down, as I just have, by the way. Let's put some aircon on first before we continue. Bobcat. We've only seen him use it in the behind-the-scenes reel, but you've seen it in action already, Mickey. I have. Bobcat, I'm actually very jealous you got to see it already, Lowell. Well, don't forget, I'm not ahead of you that much. I only saw 90 minutes. Don't forget that. When I go and see this film, it could be edited in a different way. It's just a test screening. It's just to say, here's a portion of the movie. What do you think? Do you think do you think we've got a handle on it? They're just getting feedback. So just remember, I'm going to have the shots and I'm going to see the proper finished movie like you are. So yes, it is great that I got to see an element of it for sure. Bobcat, I'd take 90 minutes any day. Oh, yeah, I'm not being ungrateful. It's unclear why Peacemaker would be brandishing a sword in lieu of his pistol, but perhaps the team has run out of ammunition and he and Bloodsport have to resort to melee weapons. It's also unclear where and how Peacemaker obtains a sword, but since it doesn't appear to be a contemporary weapon, the Nazi-era prison, which the Suicide Squad is expected to visit in the film, is a pretty good bet. The mystery surrounding Peacemaker's sword will be revealed on the Suicide Squad's fast approaching release date on August the 6th. And of course, we all can't wait, especially Bobcat, until August the 6th, not far away now. Thanks for jumping up, Twitter, thank you. Yes, so I was a bit surprised that Gunn revealed that, but it is very exciting that people know about. Obviously, it's in the marketing as well, as you said, but yes, very, very exciting. I know how he gets that sword, and it's great. It's great entertainment, let me put it that way. Basically, he's one of my favourite characters in the movie. He really does work. He's a really good actor, considering he's an ex-wrestler. And, we've already got 2 ex-wrestlers in the DCEU, which is very exciting. Bobcat, there's a whole 45 minutes you haven't seen. Exactly. So I'm as blind as you are here, right? I've seen things put in a certain context. He could have edited the film. That could just, that's the thing. Editing can change things all the time. Bobcat, I'm actually seeing it the 5th. Awesome. You've got exclusive coverage, eh? So, yeah, that's very, very exciting. Sanjay Views, Dave Bautista should play Bane. I'd love that. Theatre Blast. Oh, welcome, Theatre Blast. I don't know if we've spoken before. You seem new. Welcome to the family. And now Shazam's suit looks like Snyderverse costumes. Look, I know what you're saying. It's a great suit. I don't mind the Snyderverse costumes. I think they're great. I prefer Batman's costume from BVS. Seems a bit different in both the Justice Leagues. I don't really like the Justice League's version of the Batman suit, but I love it in BVS. But you're right, the suits are great. And this suit's great. And it's taken from the comics as well, which the Snyderverse doesn't really do that much. But yes, I see where you're going with that. So, Wonder Woman 3 teased by Gal Gadot in celebration of original movie. Bobcat, hey Theatre Blast, I don't think I've seen you here before. Hope you stick around. So do I. I'm a bit biased. I need people to stick around. Please stick around. Don't go. Wonder Woman 3 teased by Gal Gadot in celebration of original movie. Gal Gadot looks back on the original Wonder Woman film on its 4th anniversary while also hyping the upcoming Wonder Woman 3 with Patty Jenkins. Well, Screenrant, we don't know it's with Patty Jenkins, and we hope it's not with Patty Jenkins. Bobcat, hey Theatre Blast. Oh no, I've already read that. In honour of its 4th anniversary, Gal Gadot has reminisced on the success of the original Wonder Woman film while also teasing Wonder Woman 3. While the DC Extended Universe struggled to find its footing during its early time, the 2017 Patty Jenkins film, Zack Snyder film, should I say, let's correct Screen Rant there again, was an instant hit with both critics and moviegoers. Given this, a sequel was greenlit shortly after with Wonder Woman 1984, which was delayed a few times suspiciously before finally releasing in December 2020. Admittedly, the follow-up film wasn't as well received as its predecessor, but was successful enough to warrant another movie. Warner Brothers remains confident with Jenkins and Gadot's partnership. Oh, these people are such shills. They really are. Sam Design Reviews. Patty Jenkins got the production designer for Star Wars Rogue Squadron. She did the first Wonder Woman. She did not do the first Wonder Woman. Snyder ghost directed it. You can tell, Sam, just put the two films together on two screens. The same person who did the first one didn't do the second one. It was fucking obvious. She got rid of the shield and the sword. Nothing that happened in the first film, apart from a couple of bits that she probably won some battles over, right? It's obvious, right? It's obvious. Anyway, that's so funny though. The Fallout film wasn't as well received as its predecessor, but was successful enough to warrant another movie. Warner Bros. Remains confident with Jenkins and Gadget's partnership that both are now locked in for Wonder Woman 3. Patty Jenkins is not locked in. At this point, not much is known about the project as it doesn't even have a release date yet. However, it's coming eventually, and the end of Wonder Woman 84 is a great jumping off point for its story. In anticipation of the upcoming movie, Gadget has now looked back on her journey as the superhero. Kurt, Manchester United fan, Australia glazes out. Yo, brother, yo, Kurt. Bobcat, screen run. You should do stand-up. Exactly right. Exactly. They're jokes, mate. Sam Design Reviews. I know Zack Snyder did Wonder Woman. Oh, good. Zack Snyder, the production designer, worked on the first Wonder Woman. Right. Taking to her official Twitter account, the actress evoked nostalgia, saying that Wonder Woman changed her life. Yeah, Gadget also expressed her gratitude for the opportunity to bring a feminist icon to life. Do you know what? Wonder Woman isn't actually a feminist icon. She's not. Anyway, and promised that she'll do everything to keep and tell Wonder Woman's story in the best way possible. What you like Q Jenkins did in Wonder Woman 84. No thanks, gal. You're not going to be running anything anymore. Anyway, she'll do everything to keep and tell Wonder Woman's story in the best way possible. She ended the post with the Wonder Woman 3 hashtag while sharing the final modern sequence of the original movie. Check out her tweet below. I love Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, but she's another virtue signaler. Everything she posts is advertisements and sponsorships. So, apart from her being a great Wonder Woman, I don't really have much time for her. Wonder Woman came out 4 years ago and changed my life. Thank you all so much for love. I'm forever grateful for this amazing opportunity, and I promise we will always do everything to keep and tell Wonder Woman's story in the best way possible. Love and peace. In other words, the last film was a load of shit and things are going to change. Oh, yes. And Sarnoff is doing the old, you're so feminist, aren't you people? And Sarnoff has told you you ain't going to produce the next morning, the movie, sweetheart. Anyway, well, where are we? Bobcat, great setup. You mean her talking to the guy who she's already seen naked because her dead boyfriend possessed his body against his will instead of just bringing him back like a normal person? Exactly. Since the first two Wonder Woman films were period pieces, there's an assumption that Wonder Woman 3 will finally be set in the modern era, perhaps even after Diana's princess stint in Justice League. Considering the ever-changing DCEU plans, the Amazonian goddess will be the first hero in the franchise to have a full trilogy of films. It's uncertain whether or not her story will continue beyond the prequel, but considering how popular the character is, Warner Bros. May be keen to continue her narrative. If anything, Jenkins previously said that she already has an idea for Wonder Woman 4. Jenkins isn't probably going to get a Wonder Woman 3, let alone a Wonder Woman 4. And one thing is, Jeff Johns is never, ever getting near Wonder Woman again. Looking at Warner Brothers DC film slate, the earliest Wonder Woman 3 will hit theatres is in 2023, following Wonder Woman 1984's hybrid release, primarily due to the coronavirus pandemic. Wonder Woman 3 is promised to have a traditional theatrical run based on Gal Gadot's tweet. It sounds like she's committed to bringing the franchise to a satisfying conclusion, if it does in fact end with the third movie. Hopefully, those who have enjoyed following Wonder Woman's story since the original film are pleased with the ending. Like we were pleased with the Game of Thrones ending, right? Sam Design Reviews. Mikey Sutton said Wonder Woman 3 will be the Trinity. Well, they're going to do the Trinity probably, Sam, to make up for the bullshit. This is the studio. The studio are making decisions now, and this is the best thing possible. The studio were fucking right about Wonder Woman 84. Sometimes it's dangerous to allow people to have creative freedom. This creative freedom thing, I don't like it. It's not about pleasing us. It's about pleasing some arty-farty director. Bobcat, didn't that poor guy have a job also? How did Steve Trevor fly that plane? On top of that, it was sitting there fully fueled and ready to be flown. I can go on. Oh, the film can be easily torn apart. It was like it was written and directed by a 5-year-old. Nah, sorry, 5-year-olds, you would have done a better job. Basically, Bobcat, I agree with you. I love the first Wonder Woman film. That's a work of art. That's perfection. But that second film was a disgrace with lots of SJW commentary. We don't want it, right? We are your paymasters. Without us, you don't make money. Now, you may not like us men. You may not like us that we're fanboys, right? Right? You can call us man babies, but we're your bosses, right? Always remember that. Get rid of Jenkins and make sure that Gal Gadot it doesn't get any say on what happens in a Wonder Woman film. She was about to go back to Israel until Zack Snyder gave her the job due to her DNA. Let's be clear about that, right? She's a beautiful woman. She's really good as Wonder Woman. I love her, but let's remember why she got this job, right? How all of them get the jobs in the entertainment industry. Let's not bullshit here. Sam Views, Wonder Woman 3 should be the Trinity because Wonder Woman 84 was disappointing. Agreed. Bobcat, and then Wonder Woman did the smooches with her dead boyfriend and can randomly fly now. Then she fights a furry that used bad CGI and a useless birdshot. We can hype up, but it does nothing. Yeah, look, Walter Hamada and Ann Sarnoff knew they were rebooting the universe. That's why those films were in the works. They couldn't stop them when they came in. They just said, just do it. Do your fucking shit. Because at the end of the day, we're erasing you with Flashpoint anyway, so it don't matter. Be gone with ye. Right, let's read an article about Shazam 2 and the set photos. Shazam 2 set photos reveal first look at Zachary Levi's new costume. New Shazam Fury of the Gods set photos show Zachary Levi his new superhero costume, giving fans a glimpse at the highly anticipated sequel by Rick Stevenson of Screen Rant. Zachary Levi's Shazam Fury of the God costume has been revealed in a series of new set photos. The highly anticipated sequel, directed by David F. Sandberg, will star Levi and Asher Angel, with a supporting cast including Helen Mirren, Lucy Liu, Jack Dylan Grazer. Well, he's pretty much a lead. And Rachel Zegler. Oh, big God, Rachel. Oh, yeah, I think I removed her from my Twitter. She was annoying me. Just because you're in Shazam, sweetheart, it doesn't mean we have to listen to your boring opinions all day, right? Shazam 2 is currently scheduled for a release on June the 2nd, 2023. Like the original film, Shazam Fury of the Gods will center on the titular superhero and his foster family of fellow superheroes, all of whom are children who transform into grown warriors by channeling ancient magic. The first movie was one of the DCEU's biggest hits to date, bringing heart and humor to a franchise that in 2019 was struggling to find its footing. With even more talented stars joining the world of Shazam for the sequel, it should be a fun ride at the very least. Thanks to a new series of set photos released by Just Jared, fans are getting their first look at Levi back in costume for Shazam. I'll tell you again, this wasn't leaked. It was leaked by the studio purposely. This was arranged. That's why they had the teaser. The new suit is a bit different than the version seen in the original film, which could suggest that all of Billy Batson's siblings are getting fresh looks for the sequel as well. Shazam 2 may still be 2 years out, but it's fun to get a glimpse of what's to come. Molly Freeman. Zachary Levi is back in action as Shazam, and he's got a new superhero suit for filming on Shazam Fury of the Gods, and it is beautiful. Should we see it again? Let's see it again. It's fucking beautiful. It is brilliant. Perhaps the biggest change to the Shazam superhero costume is the sheer amount of detail added. The design is much more intricate, with different gauntlets and more accents in darker red on the arms and sides, as well as bits of silver running throughout it. It also appears the Shazam movie costume isn't padded like it was for the first film. Bobcat, thank God for HBO Max, and I didn't pay to see that garbage. But Bobcat, also, she tried to reach Max when he was broadcasting to the world, but couldn't do her solution. Couldn't do her solution was to reach him because she just can now. Then Max hugs his adopted son and that just says dad. Ronnie Dodge, I can't wait to see the rest of the Shazam family usage. Yeah, that's going to be exciting. Bobcat, he's the Finn of the DCU. Instead of screaming Ray, it's dad. Anyway, the first film, when set photos cropped up for the first movie, there was a great deal of blowback from fans who criticised both the costume and Levi for what appeared to be padding in the suit. Some argued the simplistic, overly muscled suit spoke to 14-year-old Billy's idea of what a superhero costume should be. With a more detailed and realistic-looking suit, in Fury of the Gods, it appears Billy's ideas for his costume have evolved as he's grown up. One aspect of the Shazam costume that's missing in all these Fury of the Gods set photos is the superhero cape, though there are clasps on Levi's shoulders where a cape would attach. He's not wearing one. It's unclear if this means Shazam won't have a cape or he's simply not wearing it in this scene. There's also the possibility that a cape could be added later during post-production using CGI. That's how it's done, my friend. Since these are unofficial set photos, no, they're official set photos. This is not the final look for Levi's superhero in the upcoming DC movie that won't be revealed until Warner Brothers, Sandbag or Levi unveil an official look at the costume. This is an official look at the costume. Why did they have a fucking teaser 5 minutes later? Don't be twats. Stop being twats. Doctor Strange 2 started over completely after original director exited. So he was obviously sacked, right, because they didn't like what he was doing. Plus Sam Raimi. I mean, come on. So Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness writer Michael Waldron says he and director Sam Raimi started from scratch when they took over the film by Chris Agar of Screen Rant. Bobcat, I can go on. I mean, all the nations are just chill now after everyone just tried to nuke each other. Wouldn't everyone be like a little on edge? Plus, if everyone got a wish, wouldn't someone wish someone dead? Yep. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness started from scratch after original director Scott Derrickson left the project. Derrickson helmed the first Doctor Strange movie, which was a critical and commercial success back in 2016. He was slated to return for the sequel, but eventually exited due to creative differences with Marvel. Despite no longer directing, Derrickson is staying involved with Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, serving as an executive producer. That just means he's getting a bit of money. That's it. He's not involved. Sam Raimi stepped in to replace Derrickson in the director's chair, and since then things have gone relatively smoothly, even with production having to go on hold earlier this year due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness wrapped filming in April, well ahead of its March 2022 release date, considering Raimi only took the job in April 2020. It's impressive the film stayed on track, especially since the new creative team opted for a hard reset after signing on. In a Vanity Fair profile on Loki writer Michael Waldron, who also penned the Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness script, he discussed his film and the movie sequel. He mentioned he and Raimi started from scratch when they took over. This implies little, if anything, from Derrickson's original version was carried over, which isn't surprising since creative differences were what led to him leaving. Marvel was obviously interested in taking the Doctor Strange franchise in a different direction. Raimi is also a big-name director with a background in both horror and superhero genres, so it makes sense the studio was willing to give him a clean slate when he signed on. Exactly what should have been done to Joss Whedon when he took over of Justice League, and it would have been a much better, more epic movie. While the Marvel Cinematic Universe is known for thinking ahead and formulating a plan, they've also shown on multiple occasions they'll give their directors appropriate creative freedom. Nah. He's getting freedom because he's Sam fucking Raimi. It's nice to see Marvel... Jesus Christ, go away. Right. So, where are we? It's nice to see Marvel didn't box Raimi in, though Waldron did acknowledge the foundation from the first movie. In all likelihood, he and Raimi used that as a jumping off point for their own story. Where are we? So... I'm missing some comments, aren't I? This is what's going to happen when I'm successful. Bobcat, so. But then, I can't read that. Hypothetically, someone would have wished for peace or for Max to die. How's that going to work? So, where are we? Bobcat, and then Wonder Woman did the smooches with her dead boyfriend and can randomly fly now. Then she fought. No, I've read that. Let's go on. Right. Was broadcasting to the world but couldn't do. Her solution was to reach him because she just can now. Right, read that. Ronnie Dodge, I can't wait for see the rest of the Shazam family new suits. I've read that. Bobcat, he's the. No, I've read that. This is the one I want. So hypothetically would have wished for world peace or for Max to die. So how's that work? Ronnie Dodge, David did say during stunt scenes they wouldn't have the cape, but the cape does attach to the suit. Yeah, they've got both a practical cape. All superhero films have got practical capes and CGI post-production capes. Bobcat, what if the people Wonder Woman stopped at the beginning of the movie wish she dropped dead? Wouldn't someone wish for the end of the world or to be president or to rule the world? Yeah, obviously with wish fulfillment movies, you can get into that and you can tear it to pieces. But you can tear anyone's stories and art to pieces, Bobcat. Ronnie Dodge, apparently Rachel was filming with Jack Grazer yesterday and she was in golden armor. Wow, best place for her so she can't tweet. Bobcat, who the fuck, though? This was a good idea. Why would someone even greet like this? It's true. And I can think, right, they had Jenkins there. Look, it was all green lit before sign-off and everyone else arrived. So, as I said to you, they said, fuck this, it doesn't matter. We're rebooting the universe. We're erasing them. Do what you want. We need a couple of filler movies anyway. So, no damage done, really. Bobcat, my wish would be for a new writer. yeah, definitely. So I think we're up to date now, right? So it'll be interesting to see what they came up with. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is poised to be one of the more intriguing Phase 4 titles. In other words, the other ones are not that intriguing, which is true. With its connections to WandaVision and integration of the MCU's multiverse concept, it also could confirm to have connections to Spider-Man No Way Home, which is weaving in its own multiverse elements by bringing in several actors from previous Spider-Man film franchises. It definitely sounds like Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is a very ambitious project, and a creative mind like Raimi should be able to deliver an entertaining spin on the property. It's for the best he was given an opportunity to start from scratch. He's Sam Raimi. Of course he was. So that's brilliant. I'm really excited they've started from scratch, and I'm excited to see what Sam's done with that movie. Ronnie Dodge, Greg Rucka needs to write Wonder Woman 3, as did the... Oh, he did the Rebirth comics. That would be great. We will see about that. Unlikely, but I would like to see a comic book guy who actually understands Wonder Woman to write it. Maybe that could save the film, but Jenkins is still going to insist on her own way. She's a problem. She has to go. Marvel doesn't want Black Widow star to talk about Melina Vostokov's last name. On Jimmy Kimmel's Live, Rachel Weisz informed the audience and most that Marvel doesn't want her character's last name revealed yet, by Richard Fink of Screen Rant. Marvel doesn't want the stars of Black Widow discussing Melina Vostokov's last name. After a year-long delay, Black Widow is finally set to open in theatres and on Disney Plus Premier Access on July 9th. Despite the delay, the film has kept many of its key plot details from leaking online, with the biggest question going in being the identity of the villain, Taskmaster. The film will see Black Widow Scarlett Johansson joined by a number of characters from Marvel Comics, including Yelena Belova, Florence Powell, Red Guardian David Harbour, and Melina Vostokov, Rachel Weisz, who is described as another Black Widow. While Marvel has yet to officially reveal Melina's last name, it was leaked last year thanks to a Twitter emoji. In the comics, Vostokov is the villain, Iron Maiden, leading many to speculate about Weisz's role in the film. Bobcat, I really don't understand women. Well, you're not meant to understand each person. Each person is unique and complicated. That's the whole point, not just women. Ronnie Dodge, he's writing Gal's movie Heart of Stone for Netflix. Ooh, that could be. So let's hope we get someone who knows this character. That's a good spot there, Ronnie. I didn't know that. Thank you for that. That's awesome news. Fingers crossed, eh? Even though Melina Vostokov's name is an open secret by now, Marvel still doesn't want their stars acknowledging it. During an interview on Jimmy Kimmel Live, Kimmel introduced Weiss's character as Melina Vostokov. Weiss quickly told Kimmel she doesn't think they are allowed to discuss her character's last name. Weiss said it was a Marvel Cinematic Universe secret and seemed nervous when Kimmel let the name slip. I'm wondering, right, what they do to them if they let something slip. I think Feige puts them in a room and goes, "We do not tolerate failure here at Marvel Studios. Come with me. Strap her down, boys. We will deal with you. By the time we finish with you, you won't do any leaks again. Dr. Holland, show them what happens when people leak information. Remember what happened to you, Dr. Holland?" Anyway, right. Ronnie Dodge, I can't wait to see set pictures of Helen Mirren on set. Oh, yeah, Helen Mirren's a class act. I love Helen. So this is what she said, the actress said. "I think we're not allowed to say Melina's second name, though, right? I think we're prohibited from saying Melina's second name. I think it's a Marvel Cinematic Universe secret." God, they're so scared of Faye, aren't they? Jimmy Kimmel Live broadcast on ABC, which is owned by Disney, who also own Marvel Studios. The late-night talk show has become a prominent spot for the various stars of the MCU to promote their upcoming films there. So Disney likely didn't expect a slip-up like this from one of their own subsidiaries. However, given that the character's name was leaked more than a year ago and has become common knowledge since, Kimmel can be forgiven for not realizing he wasn't supposed to talk about it. Marvel keeping the identity of Melina a secret raises some interesting questions for Black Widow. While all eyes are on Taskmaster, it could be that Melina is the real villain of the film, given the nature of Black Widow as a spy. Property, having a higher-up trusted hero turning out to be the secret villain, is a staple of the spy genre that has been featured in films like Mission Impossible and the recent Charlie's Angels, which I didn't see. Marvel Studios themselves have a history of secret villains, like Iron Man 3's marketing focuses slowly on the Mandalorian, while the real villain, Aldrich Killian, was safe for the film's reveal. It could also be clever marketing to get fans discussing Black Widow before the film's upcoming release. And not enough people are discussing Black Widow. A Bobcat, like, I was nice, and it was just like, no. And I mean, and kind of more sarcastic with her. And then she's interested. Right. You've randomly started talking about this. I really don't know what you're talking about. Ronnie Dodger, I don't know how Marvel cope with Tom Holland and Mark Ruffalo giving spoilers in interviews. I think it's purposely done anyway. But I can imagine Feige torturing them or something if they give away a big secret. Taskmaster, it could be that Melina is the real villain of the film, given the nature of Black Widow as basically. Have I read this? I already read this. You put me off, right? Anyway, right? So basically, if the mother, played by Rachel Weisz, if Rachel is the villain of the film, going forward, it will be good for the relationship for the new Black Widow, played by Florence Pugh, to have an enemy who's her mother. That would be an amazing kind of compelling conceit, and I would really be interested in that. And it will be more interesting for the future for this brand new Black Widow as well. So we'll see how that develops. Bobcat, I think you missed my comment where I brought this up. I must have done. It must be up there somewhere. But you know you're going to have to prepare yourselves for that. When I've got 1 million subs, I'm going to be like that. Black Widow movie clip explains her Russian family. A Black Widow movie clip released on Jimmy Kimmel Live explains Natasha Romanoff's Russian family and the relationship they share with each other, by Morgan Atland of Screen Rant. A Black Widow movie clip released on... No, I've already read that bit. A newly released clip from Marvel's Black Widow gives fans a better understanding of Natasha Romanoff's Russian family. The film, debuting in theatres and on Disney Plus July the 9th, is set to give the now-deceased hero greater depth, diving into her origin story and taking place between Captain America Civil War and Avengers Infinity War. As the premiere date finally approaches after several delays and pushbacks, the studio is releasing more and more Black Widow marketing material to build excitement for the movie. Black Widow is set to focus on Romanoff addressing the issues in her past. she has been avoiding since becoming an Avenger. She also introduces a new threat, a villain named Taskmaster, who specializes in analyzing and mimicking the fighting styles of his opponents, using their own skills against them. In addition to Taskmaster, the film also introduces the two new Black Widow agents, Yelena Belova and Melina Vostokov, portrayed by Florence. Oi, you're not allowed to say the last name. Agent Fade's going to get you, by Florence Pugh and Rachel Weisz. David Harbour joins the Widow as Alexei Shostakov, better known as Red Guardian. Weisz debuted a clip for the upcoming MCU film while appearing on Jimmy Kimmel Live. In the clips, fans are giving context over why Romanoff, the other widows, and Red Guardian were brought together. It also highlights the family-like relationship the characters share with one another. The clip can be seen below. From the clip, it's clear Vostokov and Shostakov have a strong romantic chemistry. That this reunion has invigorated. It's also explained that the group was forced into posing as a family for a 3-year period. Although they claim they no longer see themselves that way, Vostokov's character has been revealed to not only be a trained Black Widow spy, but a scientist as well. Weisz talks about how her character runs a pig farm where she conducts experiments on the animals. That farm is where Romanov finds Vostokov when attempting to reunite their shared family. Bobcat, me and Ronnie will be mods then. Lol, I think I'm going to need it. Ronnie Dodge, yet any trolls, they're out, lol. Bobcat, Ronnie be trading in busting ghosts to busting trolls in live chats, lol. Ronnie Dodge, laughing emoji, it's quite funny. Being Marvel's first film released since Spider-Man Far From Home, expectations for the movie are high for fans ready to return to theatres for the cinematic universe they've been mostly deprived of during the lockdowns. Johansson hopes the film is able to bring closure for the character in the eyes of fans. As the studio prepares to move in a different direction for Phase 4, it's unclear if Harbour and Weisz will have a large role in the universe after Black Widow. I hope so. However, with the chemistry they show off in the clip, it would not be surprising if the studio brought them in for additional projects. There is a clear connection with the characters, even if they no longer choose to see themselves as family. So that's kind of interesting. Now, this is one I want to read about Kevin Smith's brand new He-Man animated series. I'm a big He-Man fan, by the way. So, Masters of the Universe Revelation doesn't reinvent He-Man, says Kevin Smith. According to its creator, Kevin Smith. Oh my God, this cough. Please, don't. Start again. Please, leave my throat alone. Right. According to his creator, Kevin Smith, the upcoming Netflix reboot series, Masters of the Universe Revelation, does not aim to reinvent He-Man. By Adam Bentz of Screen Rant, Masters of the Universe Revelation does not reinvent He-Man. According to the series creator, Kevin Smith, coming off the heels of the successful reimagining of She-Ra and the Princess of Power. Successful. Smith's He-Man series will be Netflix's second animated Masters of the Universe series. The project boasts an impressive voice cast that includes Chris Wood as He-Man, Mark Hamill as Skeletor, Lena Headey as Evil Lynn, wow, Justin Long as Roboto, Kevin Conroy as Merman, and Sarah Michelle Gellar as Teela. Wow, that's awesome, isn't it? Ronnie Dodge, I want Kevin Smith to do a panel at Fandom. Maybe he will. Bobcat, also excited to announce I'm starting my YouTube channel soon, trying to set up a little setup, and then I'm doing like movie news, some game news, breakdowns, reviews, etc. Hello? We've got a little bit of a problem. There's a guy called Bobcat who's trying to muscle in our manner. Deal with him, please. Bobcat, I need a name for my new show though. Bobcat Untamed. Based on Mattel's toys and comics, the Masters of the Universe franchise began in 1993 with the original animated series, titled He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, set on the planet Eternia. The show's main premise is based on the conflict between He-Man and the alter ego of Prince Adam and Skeletor, a blue-skinned humanoid with a bare-boned skull. The sequel series, She-Ra, Princess of Power, followed He-Man's titular sister on the planet Etheria as she led a rebellion against Hordak, a ruthless tyrant who leads an evil horde of monsters, robots, and sorcerers. Over many years, Masters of the Universe has become a beloved property, and now Kevin Smith is hoping to stay true to the original IP with his upcoming Netflix series. In a recent interview with IO9, Smith talked about how his show, subtitled Revelation, does not aim to reinvent. While he admires what Netflix previously did with She-Ra, which he doesn't, he's just saying that was not his objective. Read what Smith said below. Our manifest was to be a fan servicey. We did not have a kind of creative, let's call it freedom, to reinvent the franchise the way that She-Ra did, and did it brilliantly. Noelle Stevenson's She-Ra cartoon played to a lot more people than it probably ever would have played to if they just kept it in its original incarnation. But She-Ra, even in its era, wasn't as well known as He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. So there's more room for creativity there. And in fact, that's what they were allowed to do. Instead of a complete reimagining, Smith says his aim was to honour the original series with a slight adult-orientated spin. He adds that even if he were asked to reinvent the series, he wouldn't have taken on that task, Smith elaborated. To be honest with you, I wouldn't have taken the job. If they were like, you get to reinvent He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, I'm really not that creative. I would not be the guy you tap to reinvent something. But if you want to keep it going lovingly, true to the franchise, and just grind up the characters a little bit so their conversations are a little more adult-orientated, I'm your guy. Brilliant, isn't it? That's well said, and I really respect him for saying that. Bobcat, oh no, you'll always be number one, Mick. Oh, can we cancel the hit on Bobcat? Bobcat, I'm still happy you named your cat after me, lol. That's good. During the interview, Smith also talked about how he and his team of writers drew a lot of inspiration from the MCU when crafting their Masters of the Universe series. Oh no. Smith says Marvel movies largely appeal to him because he grew up on Marvel comics, but now his kid can grow up on them too through the MCU, and they can share the experience together. This is exactly what Smith hopes to provide with Masters of the Universe Revelation. You're such a shill, Kevin. Fans of the original He-Man and the Masters of the Universe will be thrilled to hear that Netflix's upcoming series stays true to its story and characters. However, Smith may run the risk of merely rehashing the original series, fine with me, without necessitating the need for a reboot. However, it is always comforting when a true fan is helming a beloved franchise. It is. Masters of the Universe Revelation is set to land on Netflix on July the 23rd. I'm really, really excited about this show. Kurt, Manchester United fan, has straight the Glazers out. Joel Glazer meeting with fans on video call today. What you think, brother? I think he's going to say what he said to the Manchester United women's team fans. It's a load of blarney. And, you know, it's not about words. It's about actions, Joe. Bobcat, also, you always talk about having hits on people and finding people off the internet and stuff. Can you actually do that stuff? Or is that a joking thing? You'll never know, will you, Bobcat? Bobcat, you sound nervous. Cobra Kai creators tease Johnny and Daniel's season 4 chemistry. Cobra Kai's creators say that season 4 will feature much more of the Johnny Lawrence and Daniel LaRusso duo than the show has seen before. By Rick Stevenson. According to the show's creators, Cobra Kai season 4 will show, or should I say Cobra Kai, season 4 will show far more of Johnny Lawrence and Daniel LaRusso's chemistry than has been seen before. The end of season 3 saw Johnny and Daniel reconcile their differences and team up against Johnny Kreese and his increasingly dangerous Cobra Kai dojo. Going into season 4, the two sensei will have to stay united to prepare their students for the battle ahead. Bobcat, I'm surprised YouTube hasn't flagged you for that yet, lol. I am YouTube. Johnny, since the original Karate Kid, Johnny Lawrence and Daniel LaRusso have been enemies. That relationship has remained through most of Cobra Kai, with two butting heads as adults over teaching styles, family drama, and old wounds. The rise of Kreese as a threat to their community, and a brief visit from Ali Mills, Elizabeth Shue finally falls peace between Johnny and Daniel. However, that led to an exciting merger of the Miyagi Dojo and Eagle Fang Karate Dojo, setting up some fun team-up potential for season 4. I agree. Bobcat, no, just some people say they do that stuff and actually can, and some just say it as an act to get people to leave them alone. Listen, if people bother me, if people are toxic, I will find a way. I will find a way to track them down and make sure they are punished by the legal services and the right services. No one has the right to attack people or bully people or disguise themselves and then attack people and bully people, right? That's not, you don't get away with it. If you come against the Don, then you're going to be visited. It's as simple as that. If you can come and be toxic, not you, then you've got to be prepared to get some yourself, right? Right. According to Cobra Kai's creators, season 4 will feature far more of the Johnny Daniel tag team than the show has seen before. Before speaking recently with Collider, writer and co-creator Hayden Skolsberg discussed the chemistry between the two characters and how that will show a much bigger part of the story in season 4. The comedic frenemy energy seen in Johnny and Daniel's season 3 relationship will likely remain to some extent, but it should also be fun for long-time Karate Kid fans to see the two truly work as partners in season 4. Read Skolsberg's full quote below. And all of a sudden, the moths decided to appear. The chemistry that we were talking about, you'll get a lot more of. Go away. Oh my God, you piece of. Oh my God. The chemistry that we're talking about, you'll get a lot more of than you've ever got in season 4 with Johnny and Daniel, just by the nature of how season 3 ended. And with that, all the fun that you would think could come with that. So you'll see their own chemistry at play. How exciting. That's awesome, isn't it? The Cobra Kai season 3 finale set up the next All Valley tournament as climax of season 3, where the dojos will battle for the right to stay in business. That probably means a lot of joint training montages with Miyagi Dojo and Eagle Fang as Hulk, Dimitri, Miguel, and Sam prepare to face off against Robbie and Tori. And of course, eventually it means a classic Karate Kid duel for the title of All Valley Champion. Bobcat, that's good. I see way too much toxicity on the internet. Yes, because people think that they're invisible and they can get away with it, right? Even if I disagree with someone, I'm not going to start insulting them personally or inboxing them or being a dick, right? And people have to be, there has to be consequences, I'm sorry. Especially if you come up against someone like me, who isn't a normal person you'll find on the internet. It should also be interesting to see how Johnny and Daniel's increasingly intermingled personal lives play into their new dynamic. Johnny began a romantic relationship with Carmen at the end of season 3, putting him even more in a father figure position with Miguel. And with Miguel and Sam LaRusso now apparently back together, Johnny and Daniel will have to contend with mentoring two teens who are dating one another. According to Skolsberg, there will be plenty of Johnny Daniel comedy and drama in Cobra Kai season 4, and them being together is really awesome. This is what we've been heading towards, and of course we've got the villain from Karate Kid 3. I forgot his name, but that's exciting as well. Will that split the two apart as well? That's going to be interesting. So we'll wait and see what happens there. Superman and Lois is setting up a repeat of Smallville's General Zod story. Superman and Lois episode 8's Big X Kryptonite reveal sets up Arrowverse's version of Smallville season 5's General Zod and Lex Luthor story. Yes, it is kind of similar, but it's different as well. By Nicholas Raymond of Screen Rant. The Big X Kryptonite reveal in Superman and Lois' latest episode indicates that the show could be setting up an Arrowverse version of Smallville season 5's General Zod and Lex Luthor story. Years before Callum Blue joined the show as season 9 villain Major Zod, Smallville saw Clark Kent, Tom Welling, go up against a Zod-possessed Lex Michael Rosenbaum, though this would not be the first time Superman and Lois has taken inspiration from Smallville. No, visually they take inspiration from Snyder, and there's a lot of Smallville aesthetics on this show, because Smallville is the best DC live action thing ever made. It's expansive, the characters are amazing, it really works, it really does. And it works, it makes sense, and it's very relatable. Bobcat, maybe we can collab sometimes. That would be great, Bobcat, that would be an honor. General Zod, a hatred rival of Jor-El and one of Superman's greatest enemies, has yet to have a big presence in the Arrowverse. However, Supergirl did confirm his existence for a few references and hallucinations that Tyler Hoechlin had in the season 2 finale. It would seem that the Arrowverse's take on Zod is currently dead, but a return could be on the table in the future. In fact, Superman and Lois' ex-Kryptonite could be the key to making it happen. Yes, as I said yesterday, this is kind of similar to Clark having the not the Genesis Arc. That's Doctor Who, isn't it? That's the Codex. Billions of Kryptonian cells inside him. Release them, and there's all these Kryptonians on Earth, and it's kind of like this in Superman and Lois. In Superman and Lois season 1, episode 8, titled "Holding the Wrench," it was theorized that ex-Kryptonite may be doing a lot more than just giving Kryptonian powers to humans, which was what was originally established. It could actually be making them hosts for the spirits of real Kryptonians. Interestingly, this sounds a lot like the main storyline in Smallville season 5, which involved Brainiac James Masters trying to create a vessel for the return of General Zod, who was trapped in the oft-seen Phantom Zone. He wanted this person to be Clark, but when that failed, he chose Lex Luthor instead. To make this work, he prepared Lex's body by imbuing him with Kryptonian powers. This allowed Zod to take control of him until Clark found a way to drive him from Lex's body in the season 6 premiere. And there's a little picture there. Michael looking, aka Lex, looking really Zod-like because he's been possessed by Zod. This was brilliant. Superman and Lois could be moving in the same direction with ex-Kryptonite if this Kryptonite variant can somehow revive forgotten Kryptonians in the bodies of living humans. Zod may be among those who get restored. Exactly how it can pull this off isn't clear, but it's possible that it's drawing their spirits out of the Phantom Zone or some other interdimensional prison. There are a number of powers present in the Arrowverse yet to be explained, though not Superman's greatest power, but there is an opportunity here for Superman and Lois to unearth the powers of ex-Kryptonite and introduce Zod at the same time. As for what viewers could expect from Superman and Lois' interpretation of Zod, it could be that it'll use Crisis on Infinite Earths to abandon its existing Zod backstory and start anew, not unlike what both Smallville and the Arrowverse have done with Morgan Edge. And it may not need to bring back or recast Supergirl Zod actor Mark Gibbon, since a Zod possession story akin to Smallville's means that the villain will most likely emerge in the form of one of the show's characters, whether it be a recast Morgan Edge, Sam Lane, John Henry Irons, or someone else entirely, or it may be that Zod will attempt to inhabit Superman himself. That will be interesting. After all, there's been no confirmation that ex-Kryptonite can't affect him. Plus, such a twist would explain why the Superman from Iron's Earth turned evil. Yes, this is interesting. I didn't think about this, actually. The evil Superman from John Henry Irons, is that his name? I think John Henry Irons' Earth Zod could have inhabited that Superman. And that's what happened. So Superman's trapped, right? So there's a good Superman there as well. Obviously, that's interesting. And what happened to that Superman, we don't know. So that's really, really interesting stuff. Where are we? Ronnie Dodge, got to go, mate. See you later, guys. See you later, Ronnie. Bobcat, collabing with you is the real honor. You're one of the best YouTubers on the platform. Wow, what an honor that is to hear that. I'm probably not, but I'm glad that you think I am. Bobcat, see you, Ronnie Dodge. So, yeah, that's very, very interesting. I've really got to get through these articles. I really don't want to leave any out because there's some interesting stuff in them. Loki show confirmed to introduce MCU multiverse properly. which I kind of guessed already. It appears Loki is set to be viewers' proper introduction to the Marvel multiverse, which will play a major role in Phase 4 of the MCU by Richard Fink of Screen Rant. The multiverse is coming to the MCU, and it appears Loki will be the introduction to the audience for it. Loki is currently set to premiere on June the 9th, 2021, and is the third installment of the MCU Phase 4 following WandaVision and The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Loki will follow the trickster gods teaming up with the TVA to clean up issues with the timeline caused by Loki surviving the events of the Avengers in an alternate timeline. Bobka, I think I'm in the girl's head. She keeps reading our DMs. Wow. Someone's certainly reading them. The multiverse is a major factor in many MCU projects. The concept was first name dropped in Doctor Strange and was teased in Spider-Man Far From Home, which all turned out to be a con pulled by Mysterio. The multiverse is set to be a major factor in Phase 4, with Spider-Man No Way Home rumoured to be a multiverse adventure featuring returning villains from the past non-MCU Spider-Man films, like Alfred Molina's Doc Ock and Jamie Foxx's as Electro. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, as the title suggests, will play with the concept and be a follow-up to WandaVision. The animated series What If will show viewers different takes on popular MCU stories, and now it appears Loki will kick off everything. In an interview with Vanity Fair, Loki head writer and Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness screenwriter Michael Waldron discussed working in the MCU with fellow Rick and Morty alumni Jeff Loveness. Loveness is penning the script for Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, and Waldron said, Jeff's dealing with the quantum realm, and I was dealing with time travel, the multiverse. While in an interview with EW, Marvel Studio president Kevin Feige said of Loki and the multiverse, he's been around for thousands of years. He had all sorts of adventures, wanting to fill in blanks and see much more of Loki's story was the initial desire for the series. Part of the fun of the multiverse and playing with time is seeing other versions of characters and other versions of the titular character in particular. So that's interesting. So, yeah, what they're saying is that Loki's been around for thousands of years. That's nuts. Bobcat, all right, Mickey, it's been great, as always, but I better get to bed. It's 5:18 a.m. for me. Honoured you named your cat after me. Bobcat, leave a like, everyone. Thank you, Bobcat. Bobcat, night chat. Night, Mickey. So where are we? Right. What is interesting is how the COVID-19 pandemic affected the MCU release schedule and the question of if Loki was always the intended first introduction to the multiverse. When Marvel first announced their Phase 4 slate at Comic-Con, Loki was slated for 2021, but so was Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, then set for release on May the 7th, 2021. The release date for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness was delayed when director Scott Derrickson dropped out and Sam Raimi took over. The addition of Spider-Man No Way Home also to the release schedule shook things up, which is now arriving 6 months after Loki airs. The multiverse will introduce many exciting possibilities for the MCU. As Phase 4 begins a new uncharted course, fans are starting to get a glimpse of the various threads that unite the films WandaVision, Spider-Man No Way Home, and Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Form a loose trilogy, and it appears Loki and the animated series What If are also connected in this multiverse saga. Warner Brothers and DC Comics are hoping fans accept the concept of the multiverse like having multiple Batman actors in one film. Now it seems that Marvel is about to dive deep into the concept. Loki writer hints MCU show has different time travel rules than Endgame. Loki's head writer Michael Waldron teases the upcoming Disney Plus show establishes different time travel rules in the MCU than Avengers Endgame by Cooper Hood of Screen Rant. Loki might have different time travel rules than Avengers Endgame, according to the Disney Plus show's head writer. Tom Hiddleston's return as the God of Mischief in the Marvel Cinematic Universe is quickly approaching shortly after Thanos killed Loki at the start of Avengers Infinity War. It was revealed that Loki was among the early shows in development for Disney streaming service. It wasn't until Avengers Endgame released in 2019 that viewers got a chance to understand how this was possible, and it is all thanks to time travel. During one of the Avengers time travel missions that took them to the Battle of New York in 2012, a Tesseract fell into Loki's possession and allowed him to escape their custody. The marketing for Loki makes it clear that this puts the trickster on the time variance authority's radar as Loki inadvertently messed up the sacred timeline. The series will show Loki and the TVA working together to fix the timeline, with him reportedly fueled by the desire not to be erased from existence. This will allow Loki to explore various facets of the multiverse and time travel, but it appears the show might not follow every aspect of how Avengers Endgame explained time travel worked in the MCU. Michael Waldron is the head writer of Loki and recently spoke to Vanity Fair about the upcoming Disney Plus series and his involvement in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. This interview led Waldron to discuss how the show deals with time travel, which Avengers Endgame created its own set of rules to explain. However, he mentioned that the explanation provided in the MCU's biggest movie ever is the way the Avengers understand it. Waldron teased that Loki might provide fans with a new understanding of the rules of time travel in the MCU. Read what Waldron said below. I was always very acutely aware of the fact that there's a week between each of our episodes, and these fans are going to do exactly what I would do, which is pick this apart. We wanted to create a time travel logic that was so airtight it could sustain over 6 hours. There's some time travel sci-fi concepts here that I'm eager for my Rick and Morty colleagues to see. So this is really exciting that they've got Rick and Morty people there, isn't it? That's going to add some fun to it, because Rick and Morty is awesome, right? Marvel Studios brought time travel to the MCU by the way of Quantum Realm in Avengers Endgame. The rules established do go against the popular depiction of time travel in pop culture, making it so the past cannot be changed. Instead, the Ancient One explained that removing the Infinity Stones from their places in time would create new MCU branch timelines due to their importance. Fans have raised plenty of questions about the legitimacy of this explanation, especially after Captain America seemingly lived an entire life with Peggy Carter in another timeline. If Loki does give the MCU a new set of rules for time travel, it will be fascinating to see how it contradicts and agrees with Avengers Endgame time travel rules. While some might be annoyed if Marvel alters its established rules of time travel, Loki is one of the best places to clear the air. The TVA should know more about time travel than just about anyone else. Now, fans will have to wait and see exactly how Loki's time travel rules work in relation to Avengers Endgame. So this is very similar to what they're doing in Flashpoint. Barry Allen goes back in time to save his mum. Everything goes haywire and the timeline is skewered. And what happens when Loki gets his hands on the Tesseract and vanishes? He fucks up the timeline. So it's just two. One is a hero and one is a villain. And it's going to be very interesting seeing both ways of them doing it. I think it's great. And I can't wait for the Loki series. So, wow. I did read. I'm just noticing I really did retweet a lot of articles, and I'm not going to be able to do them all. So what I'm going to do is just talk about headlines, really. So, new She-Hulk set photos tease Mark Ruffalo's return as Smart Hulk after his appearance in Avengers Endgame. So I'm not going to click onto this and read this because I'm running out of time, which is a shame. I hate Smart Hulk. I think Smart Hulk is ridiculous. I think this is the worst thing that happened to the live-action Hulk. He was great in the first Avengers. In the second Avengers, they made Bruce have a relationship with Black Widow. It was ridiculous when she could calm him down. I hated that. And from that moment on, Feige was shitting on Hulk. Well, really, I think he shitted on Hulk when he drove Ed Norton out from the role. So I'm not happy with that. And I was excited for him to be in She-Hulk. I'm excited for She-Hulk, but I'm disappointed it's still Smart Hulk. This is a pathetic idea. Get rid of Smart Hulk. Loki writer Michael Waldron hints at the multiple versions of Loki will appear in the Disney Plus series. You can literally hold up a mirror to your characters. Perhaps they can encounter other versions of themselves at different points in their lives. So that's another exciting aspect of the Loki series as well, and I can't wait for that. Jupiter Legacy star Andrew Horton says he's gutted by the show's cancellation. Jupiter's Legacy was a once-in-a-lifetime experience and one I would never forget. I'm sad and sorry that we don't get to continue this journey, but Netflix do support creatives, don't they now? Loki will finally have a love interest in the upcoming Disney Plus series, but not how you think, says writer Michael Waldron. Morbius and Loki, that's the one of the love stories you might see in Loki, for sure. I know nothing about Morbius in this, so we'll see. That's interesting, isn't it? That's interesting. Okay, anyway. Emilia Clarke explains why she joined Marvel's Secret Invasion. Honestly, the people that are making this are what pushed me over the line to really wanting to do it. I just think that everyone's heart and heads are in the right place with this one. Wow. So it seems like from a creative point of view, because she's a geek. She's not like the other women in Hollywood, right? She's not an SJW. I love Em. She's fantastic. She's a fabulous person, so talented. And if she's saying that, and I've always been excited about them doing Secret Invasion as well. So we'll see how she gets on in that and how the show turns out. Joel Kinnaman on James Gunn's The Suicide Squad. It's insane. By far Gunn's best movie. Wow. That's sensational, right? That's just sensational that he's saying that. A big statement. Gunn's best movie. Let's see if we could just quickly, before I go, read the full quote for you. There's so many articles. There's so much I wanted to read to you today, but I've got to take my dad to the loo. I've got to do lunch. I'm really running late because of this video. So let's see if there's any quotes here. Joel Kinnaman admits he hasn't seen Uzo Aduba's award-winning work on Orange is the New Black. Even so, it didn't take long for the actors to become all acquainted with Aduba after he signed on to play her on Again, Off Again boyfriend in the new season of HBO's Treat. I'm not interested in that. Let's see if we got a quote before we go. Sequel says he's sought a therapist help. I've talked to someone while working through an issue or for a couple of months, but I haven't been going for years like some people do. I've never got an analysis, for example, or anything like that, but I've always seen value of it. And I think I grew up with Mom. I sort of get that language and perspective of yourself being introspective and trying to get to the bottom of things and just accepting your reactionary behavior, but sort of taking a step back and trying to look at oneself. Right, that's interesting, but that's not what we're interested in. That's not what we're interested in. Yeah, I don't think this is an interview, but basically it's what he said before. He thinks that James Gunn's Suicide Squad is the best movie yet. So if that is James Gunn's best movie yet, just imagine it. Just imagine it, right? I mean, I've seen 90 minutes of the film. It's sensational. God knows what the rest of the 2 hours, 14, 15 minutes are. I think I think it's better than Guardians 1. I think it's better than Guardians 2. But obviously, I want to see the full movie so I can make my reaction. This is the place to be, the only place where you'll see my reaction and review of James Gunn's The Suicide Squad from August the 6th onward. Exclusive, Donnie Yen CT, has been set to star with Keanu Reeves in John Wick 4. So that's exciting. Looking forward to that one. So that's your update for today. It's been absolutely fantastic and an honor to do this video for you. I'm sorry I couldn't read every fucking article because I wanted to, but I've got to get ahead. Now, don't forget, I'll be back tonight from 6 p.m. UK time to do Big Mouth Live. Now, tomorrow's Big Mouth Daily Live could be later in the afternoon because I'm having my shot. I'm having my COVID vaccine tomorrow. So I have to be there by 10:30 in the morning. So I'm probably not going to be able to do the Big Mouth Daily Live tomorrow morning like I normally do, unless I do it ridiculously early. Depends what time I wake up. We'll talk about more about that tonight from 6 p.m. UK time for Big Mouth Live. Thank you for joining in. If you're rewatching this, comment down below, like, share, and subscribe. And I'll be back at 6 p.m. UK time for Big Mouth Live. Follow me over on Twitter. Follow me, subscribe to me here on YouTube. Share the videos, share the channel, support. And I'll be back later. See you again soon. Bye-bye.